Hi there. This short video is just to highlight some points about the coming essay that is due on Sunday the 11th of September. And I hope that this bit of information and discussion answers some questions that you might have about it. The essay is 1,500 words long, and of course that doesn't include your reference list. The essay is asking you to think particularly about a stage of preparing and planning for a group. And it sets the task and describes that you are a worker in a non-government organisation. Does it matter what sort of non-government organisation that you're working for? It might be useful for you to describe the focus of your work and your role. That always helps to place your planning and your thinking in a context. It also differentiates the way that you might go about your work according to where you're actually working from, which would be quite different if you were working in a government department, for example. There's 4 different scenarios that have been given, and you're asked to choose one of those scenarios. And one of those might be that you're asked to plan a group for a multicultural youth festival, organising committee, or a group that is being run for men living with anxiety, support group. Or you might want to look at a therapy group for seniors, for older people experiencing depression. The other option is a community recovery coordination group after a major event such as a flood. You choose one of those, and that then becomes the focus of your essay. It's an essay format, so you're encouraged not to use dot points, but that obviously goes without saying. One of the key things about reading materials and referencing, please use the set texts first. So I expect people to use Toseland and Rebus, the core text, as a starting point, and that should be in your reference list. You'll also find really useful references in the other module reading materials, and then you might go further than that and actually find some other references. Please refer to the core text first. What you're actually asked to do is consider what you need to think about when you are planning and preparing to set up a group. You're not asked to give an outline of a model of a 12-week program, for example. That's not what you've been asked to do. You've been asked to talk about the preparation and the planning and starting such a group. And you're also expected to be able to critically analyse what might be the internal and the external aspects that are going to influence how you go about that group. We have spent some of the time in our seminars talking about that the context, the age group, the location, the community issues that surround that particular group being formed. All of those things will really affect the way, the approach that you'll adopt to set up your group. So very much be considering those factors. A really important thing for you to look at that will help guide your essay planning is look at the marking criteria. That's what I'll be using when I mark these essays. And number 1 is, have you clearly identified an overview of the group and the type of group that you're actually proposing to run. And then also looking at how the group type is going to influence the tasks and the activities that will be involved in that planning and the beginning stages of group work. And you're expected also to critically analyse those external factors that I was speaking about earlier. What's happening in the organisation, but also more broadly, what's happening in that community. What are those factors going to be that are going to influence how you set up that group? And that are also going to impact on the early stages of the group. That's worth 30% of your mark, so that's an indication that you should spend some time on that area. Evidence of wide reading on the topic. So again, you're expected to read and refer to at least 5 references, and in there the core text will be your first and foremost reference. Then you can go broadly in terms of seeking other references. The ability for the writing to be easily understood and well presented is also another area that you're going to be marked on. I hope that's helpful.